It was brought crashing down by the cold, hard reality of paragraph 1. The rent is due. $300, Jana said, looking at the empty envelope on the shelf. It's gone. Gone, Jack asked, coming out of the bathroom with a towel around his neck. What do you mean, gone? Money doesn't just sprout wings and fly to Maui. I left it right here, Jana said, her voice trembling, in the white envelope marked rent. And now, it's just an empty shelf. Chrissy walked in, looking confused. Are we talking about the money? I saw that envelope this morning. Where? Jack and Jana shouted in unison. On the shelf, next to the radio. I took the radio to be repaired, so I moved the envelope to. Wait, Chrissy's face went pale. I put it on top of the trash can, so I wouldn't forget to tell you. They all ran to the kitchen. The trash can was empty. The janitor, Jack whispered. He came by at 10 o'clock. We're dead, Jana said, sitting on the floor. Roper will evict us. He's been looking for an excuse since we moved in. Maybe we can tell him the truth, Chrissy suggested. The truth? Jack laughed bitterly. Excuse me, Mr. Roper, we threw our rent in the garbage. He'll love that. He'll give us a trophy on our way out to the sidewalk. We have to raise the money, Jana said, her pragmatic side kicking in. Jack, do you have any savings? I have for dollars and a coupon for a free taco, Jack said. Chrissy, I bought those fluffy slippers, she admitted. Okay, Jana said. Plan B, we fake a burglary. A burglary? Jack asked. Isn't that illegal? It's creative accounting, Jana insisted. If we tell the police we were robbed, Roper will have to give us an extension. It's a matter of public record. They spent the next hour ransacking their own apartment. Jack tipped over a chair. Chrissy scattered some magazines. Make it look real, John urged. Jack, break something. Jack looked at his favorite ceramic cookie jar, a gift from his mother. He couldn't do it. Instead, he carefully laid it on its side and put a bit of dust on it. The police are going to see right through this, Jack groaned. A few hours later, a detective arrived. He was a weary-looking man in a rumpled suit who looked like he'd seen too many burglaries in Santa Monica. So, the detective said, looking at the scattered magazines, you say they took $300 in cash. Anything else? A radio. Chrissy said, a black one with a silver dial. But you told me you took that to be repaired, the detective noted, scribbling in his notebook. I did, Chrissy stammered. But then they stole the repair shop. Jack covered his face with his hands. Look, the detective said, closing his notebook. You kids are amateurs. There's no sign of forced entry. Your ransacking looks like a messy Sunday morning. And nobody leaves $300 in an envelope marked rent unless they're in a sitcom. But we are, Chrissy cried. Just pay your rent, the detective said, heading for the door. And next time you want to fake a crime, try harder. Or get a job. As the door closed, they heard a heavy tread in the hallway. It was Roper. Rent day, kids, he called out, his voice full of predatory glee. They looked at each other in terror. The pub, Jack whispered. Hide in the pub. They scrambled for their coats and burst out the door, nearly knocking Roper over. Hey, where are you going? Roper shouted. We have an emergency. Jack yelled as they sprinted down the stairs. A botanical emergency. Jeanette's ferns are wilting. They spent the evening at the pub, nursing a single beer and staring at the clock. We can't hide forever, Jeanette said. Eventually, we have to go home. Maybe we can move to another state, Chrissy suggested. I hear Nebraska is nice. Lots of corn. No ropers. When they finally slunk back to the apartment at 11 p.m., they found Roper waiting for them in the hallway. But he wasn't angry. He was holding a small, yellow slip of paper. There you are, Roper said. I've been looking for you all night. Mr. Roper, Jack started. About the rent. What about it? Roper asked. I got it right here. They all stopped. You have it. Yeah, Roper said. I came up yesterday to fix that leaky sink in the kitchen. I saw the envelope on the trash can. I figured you left it there for me, so I wouldn't have to disturb you. Very thoughtful. He handed Jack the yellow slip. Here's your receipt. I always leave a receipt. I'm a professional. Jack looked at the receipt. It was real. The rent was paid. You took it from the trash can? Jonna asked, her voice faint. Waste not, want not. Roper chuckled. Anyway, since you're so ahead of schedule, I thought I'd invite you all to dinner tomorrow night. My treat. Helen's making her special surprise stew. We'd love to, Mr. Roper, Jack said, leaning against the wall with relief. We'd absolutely love to. As Roper headed back downstairs, the three roommates stepped into their apartment and closed the door. He had it the whole time, Chrissy whispered. We called the police on ourselves. Jeanette groaned. Jack looked at the cookie jar on the floor. He picked it up and put it back on the shelf. Well, he said, a grin slowly returning to his face. At least we know one thing for sure. What's that? Paragraph 9. The landlord is always watching, even when he's just fixing the sink. Come and knock on our door. Chrissy started humming. Don't, Jack and Jonna said together. But as they settled onto their brick-hard orange sofa, they couldn't help but laugh. It was just another week in Santa Monica. And as long as they had each other and a landlord who occasionally mistook the trash for a mailbox, they were doing just fine. Chapter 12. The Hands of Christopher Columbus. While the rent crisis was solved, a new tension was brewing in the household, one centered entirely on Chrissy Snow's subconscious mind. For several nights, Jonna and Jack had been woken by the sound of the front door clicking shut or the soft pad of bare feet in the hallway. Chrissy was sleepwalking again. It started when I was a kid, Chrissy explained over breakfast, her eyes puffy. Whenever I got nervous about Bible class or being the best at school, My feet just decided to take a little tour of the neighborhood while I was still dreaming. Well, what's making you nervous now? Jonna asked, handing her a mug of strong coffee. Is it the apartment? Is it Jack's cooking? Hey, Jack protested from the stove, where he was flipping pancakes.